evening, everyone. I always somehow get like the very tricky slot like right before lunch or when it's gonna end. Stay with me here. Alright, so I'm Suzanne from Picha Eats, and what we do is whatever that has just been introduced. And today, I really like today's event, how it's called in real life, because it's true that a lot of times when we go for conferences, you get all like the fancy stuff, the achievements, and I really like how this event today has given us this space to talk about the real things, which is the things that we don't usually say out there. And before I go into that, I just want to share with you about my own story of how I got onto this journey, because it was really very, very accidental. Oh, cha-cha a bit, sorry. So, story time. So how I got onto this journey of working with refugees was, as I mentioned, very accidental. 7 years ago when I was in university, I was in year 1, so do your maths, I'm still pretty young. Okay, so when I was in year 1, 7 years ago, I was studying psychology. So as a psychology undergrad, I wanted to have some experience working with kids so that when I graduate, you know, my CV looks good. So I found this refugee school very near to our uni in Cheras, and I realized that there are about 100 kids there, but they don't have teachers. So basically all these kids go to school, they have their books, they have their chairs, they have their uniform, but they have no teachers. And when I found out about that, I told myself, hey, I have time in between classes, why not I start volunteering and teach? And that was what I did. And as I was volunteering, that was where I met my current two co-founders, Kim and Sweeney, because they also busybody like me, they were also teaching there. And we realized that this school was struggling financially, so we did what students did best. We did fundraising concerts, sing some songs, raise some funds for the school. But eventually we realized that all the funds that we raised finishes in like 3 to 6 months, and then we have to raise another fund and the funds finish again. So at the back of our head, we have always been asking ourselves, is there a more sustainable way to make an impact, or fundraising concert is the only way? But we didn't really take much action about it until mid of 2015, when half of my class here, that I really, really love a lot, half of my class here dropped out across 1 month. Because there was an economy crisis, very small one at the time, but because they were at the bottom of, you know, they were really struggling financially already, that whole shift in economy affected them a lot. So half of my class here dropped out from school and started working in KK Mart, Mamak Store and Pasar Malam. And the thing is, because they are already close with us as teachers, they will actually message us to apologize and say, I'm so sorry teacher, it's not that I don't want to come for class, but I really need to work to support my family. So when that happened, it hit us really hard as teachers, and we realized that there is this huge issue around the world about the refugee community, and that is this. Around the world right now, there are 70 million people who are forced to leave home due to war, persecution and danger. And I think this is numbers that is not very new to you, because we always see it on the news somewhere. But to bring it closer to home, in Malaysia, we have about 170,000 refugees. And a lot of us don't know. Because when I was in uni telling people, they were asking me, refugees, what's that? Hey, we have where? From where? But in Malaysia, we do have 170,000 refugees, and honestly, they have nowhere else to go. They come from places where there is war, and they don't have anywhere else to go. But in Malaysia, because we did not sign the UN Refugee Convention, refugees in Malaysia are not allowed to work legally. They cannot go to public school, and healthcare is also an issue because they already can't work, so it's very hard to seek for healthcare. So what they do is they do odd jobs in night markets, in mamaks and things like that, including the teenagers who were our students. And when we found out about this issue, we wanted to do something about it, and we had this simple idea, which is all our students' mother can cook. It's just nice or not nice, right? All of the mothers can cook, and everybody needs to eat every single day. So we thought, hey, why not try to get the moms to cook, and then we sell it to our friends. This happened during my final semester. And what we did was, we didn't really know what to do, so we googled food packaging, or go and buy food garnish, how to make food looks nicer. Okay, put cucumber, put this, put that. So we googled everything, we did it, and I was still in uni, so I went to uni and literally, I'm not kidding, Sales 101, forced my friends to buy. And okay lah, force/instruct. So I'm like, hey, give me 7 ringgit, next week I bring you food. That was how we got our first sales. And thankfully, they trust me enough to give me 7 ringgit, not too much, right? So I collected 7 ringgit from 30 people. I don't have so much friends, so my friends helped to collect from their friends. So we collected from about 30 people, did our first sale, and to our surprise, they really enjoyed it. Not just because the food was good, but the fact that they know this lunch is helping a mother to improve their life, it felt very good. So they asked us to do it again, and we did that for 4 months. So after 4 months, we all graduated, and we had to decide, do we do this full-time, or do we look for a full-time job, and this project will definitely die off, because it requires full-time attention. And the 3 of us got together and we told ourselves, we have nothing to lose, let's try it out. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, we can go find a full-time job. And that was in 2016, and it's been 4 years ever since. We are still full-time in it, still surviving. So that's a good risk that we took. Yeah. Accidental entrepreneurship. So when we needed a business name, we had to register, right, something Sendirian Berhad. So we decided to name ourselves as Picha Project at that time because of this boy right here. He's the son of our first chef and his name is Picha. So we named ourselves as the Picha Project as a constant reminder to ourselves that we started this business for the boy and for his family, and we want to continue to grow for more family like Pichas. But the joke is, I usually don't say a lot, but the joke is, right, 3 months after we registered as Picha Sendirian Berhad, we realized that his name is actually Peter, P-E-T-E-R. And the only reason why we heard it as Picha is because the only time we hear his name is when the mom shout at him, so it always just sounds like Picha, Picha. Okay, anyway, jokes aside. But Picha Sendirian Berhad is definitely nicer than Peter Sendirian Berhad, it's just weird. Okay, so right now we rebranded as Picha Eats because too many people think that we are a project. They're like, hey, when your project ending? Then we're like, we this full time. Okay, so Picha Eats. So when we first started, I would say when we first started, a lot of people ask us, what's your challenges like when you first started? I will tell you what's the challenges like. First of all, I studied psychology. My other co-founder majored in guitar. Yeah, she majored in guitar. And my other co-founder, thankfully, she majored in accounting and finance. If not, psychologists and guitarists, wow, sure die. So the 3 of us got together and we had zero business background or knowledge. I remember we were very lucky we got into Magic Accelerator program to learn for 4 months. I remember clearly the first lesson, right, they were talking about how your business must break even, things like that. I raised up my hand, I'm like, what is break even? I really don't know. Psychology don't learn about break even, okay? So we really learned everything from scratch, and that was one of the challenge. And another big challenge was that a lot of people, when they hear our idea, they ask us the first question. They would say, you know, Malaysia got a lot of food, right? Why would people buy food cooked by refugees? Like, is it safe? Is it hygienic? Eat already, will you get HIV? Like, all kind of nonsense. And another big question was also, why you help other people, don't help your own people? And we're like, so what you want us to do? You want us to leave them to dwell in this poverty? So we had all these problems, and what we told ourselves was, if we have this idea and we know that it might help people and it might make a change, why not try it? So we decided to go with it. Some people in the food industry told us, you 3 are too young. When we started, we were 23. And they say, 3 young girls, please don't do this because the client will scold you for everything. If the food is late, they scold you, correct? No problem. If the food is early, they also scold you. Anything also, you might get scolded. So they told us to don't get into it. But to us, we were very determined. We told ourselves, we want to do this and we want to put it clearly out there that this food is cooked by this community because we don't want to hide them. It's a good way for us to educate people about who refugees are and why are they here and why they are not just victims. So we went out with it, and how our business works is that we do food delivery, mainly for groups. So for Chinese New Year, 5 packs and above, Christmas, birthday parties, wedding, anything that you need food, we'll do it for you. And we also do buffet catering. And we also do meal boxes. So basically we present the food made by all these refugee mothers from different parts of the world in a presentable way. And we as a business, we ensure all the hygiene standards and quality, and we also train them culinarily to make sure that all of them really stand strong as chefs. so that people don't see them as just victims, people don't see them as just refugees, people see them as chefs who bring delicious food to the table. So it took us about 2 to 3 years to change perspective, and I think right now we put out all these numbers is really not to say what we have achieved, but it's really to show people that even though people didn't believe in it at the first place, there is way to prove people wrong. So right now we have done about 4 million in terms of sales for the past 3.5 years, and 50% of it goes directly back to the chef. That's our business model. And we have served about 500 corporate clients, and this one, sorry, I brag a bit, must show the logo. So we have served about 500 over corporate clients, including all these brands on the screen. And the reason why I put it up is because you remember when we first started, they say, why they want to buy food from you? No food in Malaysia, man. But all these companies really come to us not because they want to help. And that is one of our milestones. They don't come to us because they want to help. They come to us because they really like the food. Have anyone eaten Afghan dumplings? No, poor thing, it's damn good. And that's all you have eaten good. There's Afghan dumpling, there's this like mandi rice that is so addictive. So mandi rice, right, just to give you a sneak peek, it is basmati rice cooked with damn a lot of spices, star anise, cardamom, a lot of spices, and then when they finish cooking, they burn a charcoal and put it inside the rice and smoke it. It's damn good, not kidding you. Okay, sorry, I do sales and marketing, I have to do a bit of that. Okay, so basically my point is that we really want to change how people see the community and for people to respect them, and most amazingly, to bring people together and get to know their story through food. And for the past 3.5 years, we've been able to work with about 25 families, about 100 individuals, including their kids and all. So 100% of our chefs' kids are all in school right now because the parents are financially stable, the kids get to go to refugee school or Arabic school, and that is our goal. So if a chef wants to cook with us, if they don't send their kids to school, they are out. So that's the main criteria to join. And all of them are able to earn about 250% of minimum wage, which is 2,500 ringgit profit per month to sustain, to cover their basic expenses. So basically that's what we do. It's a very, very simple business model. Really very simple. And that's all. That's what Picha is about. And today, I am not here to just talk about what we do. That is just to give you a preview of who am I and what I do. But today, mainly what I really want to share is these 3 lessons that I have learned along this journey. And sorry if I disappoint you, it's nothing technical. It's not about like hustle and grow and things like that. It's really very personal stuff because we are in real life Malaysian Confessions, right? So 3 biggest lessons that I've learned. The first one is finding joy in the things that we do, because you can be better or bitter. And the reason why this is one of the key lessons that I have learned is because if you remember, if you paid attention earlier, I studied psychology. So my path and my plans in life has always been have a degree in psychology, go and do a master's in clinical psychology, get a PhD, become a doctor. Actually, I wanted to be a doctor, but I don't have money to go for med school, so I did like a detour. My plan is really like that. I want to do degree, master, and then still become a doctor, but for mental health. So that has always been my goal. And when Picha started, my role became a marketing person because I talk, as you can see. So I was a marketing person, and marketing and sales was together. So from psychology background to marketing and sales, oh my gosh, I hated it. I hated it so much. And it's not just that I was doing a thing that I didn't like, which is marketing and sales. I was also a bit bitter that, hey, why am I selling food? Where's my master's? That's my original goal. And reminding you again, I got into this accidentally. Like I was in my final sem, and then I started selling food to my friends, and then we tried it out. So there was a lot of emotions going inside when I'm in a business, and I have never ever wanted to start a business. But at the same time, I really, really love the purpose that we have. I really love the chef that we work with, but I hated my task. You see where am I coming from? Yeah, I love Picha, but I hate my work. But I have no choice. So I was quite bitter, and every time my CEO, who is Kim, the guitarist, every time she asks me, hey, where's the marketing strategy? I also ask myself, where's the marketing strategy? I really don't have. Oh, where's the sales? I'm like, oh, where's the sales. I really don't know. I really hated it, and it wasn't for a while. It was for about 1.5 years. So every day I go into the office, I was miserable. I don't know where's the sales. I just want to play with kids. Why you make me do this? And I was quite bitter. And because I have according to my partners, that time it was just 3 of us, yeah, no team. According to my partners, I have the face that is the hardest to scold. So every time there's a problem, I go and say sorry. Now I'm the storyteller, I was the sorryteller, okay? Like, we screw up something, I stand there, I'm so sorry today your food was late, oh, I'm so sorry, is everything okay? I'm so sorry, oh, it sucks, okay? And there was one time, I don't know why some clients so difficult, there was one time I was scolded on the phone until I cried. I don't cry that easily, but wow, don't know why people like that. But it was just a lot of things that made me question, because I'm a human, okay? As much as I love my business, I'm still a human. I still question, why am I doing this? I could have been doing my masters. I could have been in a hospital, you know, listening to people's problem. I know clinical psychologist is also not an easy job, but that was what I wanted to be. But one day, I told myself, I can continue to be bitter, or I can change my mindset and start to enjoy what I have to do anyway. It's either I quit and really leave Picha, or I change my mindset and I learn to love what I do. And it was that shift in mindset, right? Surprisingly, it was that shift in mindset one random morning in the car. Random morning driving to work, 1 hour, oh my gosh. I was driving to work, then I'm like, ayo, angry also need to do, not angry also need to do, happy also need to do, not happy also need to do. Why so unhappy? Be happy lah. Then I just became happy. So easy to cheat. I'm serious. It was just that simple shift of mindset, and it's so surprising that it changed everything. Once I had that mindset shift, everything changed. Like when Kim now asks me, where's the marketing strategy? I'll be like, oh yeah, where's the marketing strategy? Let's think. Last time it's like, I don't know where is it. But this is really a big lesson that I learned. Until now, I sometimes tell my team, you happy also need to do, not happy also need to do. Might as well do it happily. So my quote is that it's not about finding, what did I quote? Sorry, I did it a while ago. It's not about doing what makes you happy, but finding joy in what you do. Because one thing that I truly believe is no matter where we work or what we do, it always comes with something that you don't like it so much. So are you going to keep finding for something to do that makes you happy, or are you going to find joy in all the things that you do that you hate? So one of my team members is here. They are behind, Elisa and Fiona. Hi! So Fiona, right, they hate attention, but I like putting them on the spot. So Fiona does this interesting role where she picks up calls from the clients. And it's tough, it's dry, sometimes clients are annoying, but I told her, why not you play some little game every day, like count one day how many clients call you dear. That's what I used to do, that was my role. So I like to do these little things like, oh, today 2 clients call me dear oh, today's 2 clients say thank you so much. So it's all these little things that make us happy, and that is one thing that I learned. And yeah, now to lesson 2. Sorry, lesson 2 a bit dark. So lesson 2 is something that I learned at the age of 19, which is the clock is ticking and we don't have forever to live. As I mentioned, I'm sharing more about life than work, because I think this is a very important lesson to me, because when I was 19, I was doing A-levels. I had a friend who finished A-levels faster than me. We were from the same high school, we went through high school together, we stayed nearby, we always go Pasar Malam. We were close friends. And when she finished A-level, she went to Pulau Tioman to do like a turtle rescue program, and she drowned very, very suddenly. And I remember clearly when I received the message telling me that, hey, so-and-so passed away. I called that friend and I say, she passed away or her grandma passed away? Did you miss out a word? And she said, no, she passed away. And we were 19. And I think that was a huge slap on my face that, yes, I am young. Yes, I am just doing A-levels. Life is just starting, but we can go anytime. And I think when that happened, because we were close friends, we knew a lot of things that she wanted to do. She has always wanted to finish her degree and go to Nepal and work as an English teacher. But currently, because she's waiting for that to happen, there is not much things going on. And I think that hit me so much that, yes, I want to work with kids, but why wait until I graduate? Why can't I do something now as simple as teaching the refugee kids near my house? And that was actually how I started reaching out to the school. So I think this whole realization that we don't have forever to live really made me think a lot about what do I want out of life. And if me, like my friend, I am to go tomorrow, can I proudly say that I have lived a life that I'm happy about? Or can I proudly say that I have lived a life where I think I can go? And I think that was also one of the time I told myself, if I am really going to die, yeah, I am going to die. I told myself, the day I die, will there be anything that I have done on this earth that can continue on even though I am no longer around? And to me, that was something important to me. And from that day onwards, honestly, I live every single day, keeping in mind that if I am going to die tomorrow, is today a good day? Sounds very cliche, but I think that really completely changed my perspectives towards life. And it really, honestly, right now, if I'm going to die tomorrow, hopefully I don't, but if I do, I can say that I am at peace with myself, because I think whatever I'm doing now, the time I spend with my family, with my friends, I am happy. I don't know how to find the word, but I think I'm okay. I'm okay. So I think the question to everyone is, have we ever thought about this? And this comes from one of my favorite books, yeah. Sorry, Larry again. It's from Tuesday with Maury. It says everybody knows they are going to die, but nobody believes it. Because if we do believe in it, we would have done a lot of things differently. And I think this is really a very good quote. I'm sorry, Larry, but imagine it in straight line. It's really a very good quote that keeps me reminded, and hopefully keeps everyone reminded as well, that we really don't have forever to live. So are you living the life that you want to live? And that's my lesson number 2. And finally, lesson number 3. We can make a change. And life isn't just about me, and me. I always have this thought in my head, more like a question. I always have this question in my head, which is, if all of us here have the ability to choose what to eat and what not to eat, why can't we do something within our capability to help others who don't even have a meal to eat? And if all of us here, we can just get electricity with a tap of our hand, why can't we help those who never even seen electricity before? And if we can keep our tap on to let the clean water keep flowing, why can't we do something for those who really never had access to clean water? And I'm really not saying this in a way where I feel guilty, but it's just a realization that the world is so big and there's so many people out there. And is there something that we can do to help other people progress as we progress in life? Because there's so many things we are chasing for. We want to progress in life, we want higher technology, we want more innovation. But as we are chasing for all that, are we looking at the community who don't have the access to it? Are we bringing them forward with us, or are we just leaving them behind as we move forward? So that is one thing that I always question. This is a question in my head, and today I just want to put it out there for everyone to also have a think about it. Are we doing what we can? And when I talk about doing what we can and making a change, I'm really not talking about becoming Mother Teresa or even starting PCHA-AIDS or really dedicating your whole life into it. It's really about all the decisions we make from the day-to-day life. And one of the stories that I really want to share about making a change is the story of one of our chefs, Zaza. Some of you might have heard about this story because we have been saying this for 2 years, but it's such an important story that we have to keep talking about it. So Zaza is one of our chefs from Syria. He joined us as the pioneer. In our 2nd month in the business, he has already been a chef. And the reason why he is here is because his wife and the son, they came from this place in Syria called Raqqa, R-A-Q-Q-A. If you Google Raqqa, you will see photos and photos of a totally destroyed city, because Raqqa was the HQ for ISIS for many, many years. And just imagine the HQ of ISIS, everyone is attacking Raqqa. US is attacking, Russia is attacking, the government is attacking because they want to drive the terrorists out, right? So they live in Raqqa. And one day, before they came to Malaysia, Time was a newborn, the baby, the boy. He was a newborn, and one day Rania was bringing Time to get a vaccination. And when she was on the way to get the vaccination, this is what she told us. An explosion happened nearby. Thankfully, it didn't hit them, but the impact was so strong that it threw Time out of her arms. So she quickly picked the son out, ran back home, and they didn't get the vaccination that day, which is a good thing, because a few days later, she realized that a lot of kids who got the vaccination actually fell very ill or passed away because the vaccination has been contaminated. Again, when you Google contaminated vaccination in disaster area, it's not a new thing. Because, you know, for medication, one makes money out of this with the agents. The agents who process all your visa and things like that, they make money out of it. They tell you, oh, you come to Malaysia, the Muslims here will welcome you, they will take care of you, then they get all your money, you come here, nothing. A lot of cases like that. So when they came here, they struggled a lot. And when we found them, it was because United Nations told us they are really good chefs. So we went to find them, they are very good chefs. We started working together and we formed a very special relationship with Zaza because he truly had a very good heart. He is the kind of person who, every time he has order, he will cook extra food for the cleaners, for the runners. Every runner that picked up food from them will confirm get one box of food. And he is famous for that. And he will always just, you know, pour out so much love to all of us. And he always tell us when the war in Syria stopped, the three of you come back with me to Syria. Or he will say things like, oh, you have guests coming over, I will cook the best because I want to make you all proud. He is the kind of person, and he always gives us ideas to grow the business because he knows that when the business grows, more refugee chefs get to be on board. And after being with Picha for about a year, life really changed for him. And one day, I'll show you what it means to them. Yeah? One day, I know this is something very small, but one day he bought a cup of Starbucks and he took a photo and sent it to us because he's like, hey, I bought a Starbucks, which they could never ever afford. But I don't think he bought it another time, but it was all these little things that made them really, really happy. And we were very happy for him as well. But unfortunately, life is always very funny and weird and unpredictable. In February 2017, Zaza fell very sick. At first, we thought it was anemia because his blood, iron, everything very low, so they gave him iron tablet. But end of February, he suddenly got so weak he couldn't breathe. We had to send him into the emergency ward, ICU, which, if you never know, foreigners actually cannot get admitted unless a local guarantee that they will pay for them. So when he was almost going to faint, he's sitting outside the ICU on the road to wait for me to arrive to sign so that they will take him in. And that is the sad part of all systems around the world. So I got a call at 11 p.m. I rushed to the hospital. I saw him sitting by the road. I went in, signed, they took him in straight to red zone, critical zone. They say all his blood pressure is low, everything is low, blood count, everything is low. And a few days later, they told us that he's suspected to have blood cancer. So that was when everything just went a very unexpected turn. So they told us that he had blood cancer, so he was hospitalized. They did a lot of checks on him, and eventually they said it's bone cancer, took bone marrow, did a lot of tests. But before we knew it, before we even got a confirmation of what it was, he passed away very, very quickly in May. It was super sudden. None of us was expecting it because the doctor 2 weeks ago told us he's gonna get discharged. So I remember that day very clearly. We went to the hospital at 2. It was one of the most painful moments we had in Picha, and I'm sharing it here because it's real life story. We went to the hospital at 2 because we got a text that he's very weak. We went to the hospital, we sat there, a lot of us of different religion just started. It's a very weird scene. Different religion praying different prayers because all of us just like, please don't go, please come back. And at about 5, he left. His organs were just shutting off, and he just left very, very suddenly. And it was one of the most painful moments, and it was also one of the moments where I questioned myself. All three of us questioned ourselves. We asked each other, why are we doing this? Should we even do this? Why now this guy who used to be a stranger to us, his death now affects us so much because we took him in as a family. Should we do this? It's so painful. Do we still want to do it? But after going through that, I think one thing that really helped me to keep going on was that a week later, we went and checked on his wife. And his wife, Rania, who is still a chef now with us, she actually told us this that really, really impacted me a lot. We asked her, are you okay? Is everything okay? And her answer was, knowing that Picha is around, Zaza wouldn't be worried about me even though he's not around. That was her answer. And that gave us a very, very sure confirmation that we are doing this not just to support them financially, it's also becoming a support group for them, becoming a friend to them in Malaysia where they don't have anybody, and it's really changing how people view the refugee community. They have such a big heart. And on top of that, what was really amazing is 2 weeks before Zaza passed away, so this was when the doctor said he's gonna get discharged. I went to the hospital to see him. We were in Ampang Hospital. And he was quite good that day, 2 weeks before. And he started making the wife write down menus for us. He actually told his wife, hey, Ramadan is coming, make sure Picha has a good Ramadan menu. So this, if you read Arabic, it's like biryani rice, some dessert, or you have Arabic friends, send it to them to translate. So he, at the hospital bed, was curating menu for Picha for Ramadan. And I'm like, dude, what's wrong with you? Like, you're sick. But he was someone with such a big heart. And he went on and he said, the puasa time is gonna come, the fasting month. And he said when he get discharged, he want to cook chicken mandi and give it out for free at the mosque to Malaysians, because that's how he want to give back to Malaysia for having him. And in my head again, I'm like, dude, what's up with you? But of course I said, yeah, sure, we'll do it. When you come out, we'll do it together. And he said it specifically, he wants to do this under Picha name, not Zaza's name. He wants to give out food for free with his own money as Picha. And that's what an amazing man he is. And I think from this whole short 1 year with Zaza, one thing that we learned a lot is that he showed us how he could make a change just by being him and by doing what he do best, which is through food. And because he was doing that, it has impacted so many of us, and hopefully many of you today, to hear his story and to know that how a simple act like this can make a huge impact. Which brings me to my most important point, which is this. I think one thing that we always think to stop ourselves from making a change is this. We see all these problems around the world and it looks so big and so hard to solve. And we tell ourselves, oh, I'm not Mother Teresa, I don't have such a big heart, this is not for me, okay, let's just ignore it, someone good will solve the problem. Or we say, oh, the environmental problem, yeah, we should do something, okay, I stop using straw, okay, that's what I can do, which is good. But we don't do more because we think our actions don't matter, because the problem is so huge. But today what I want to say is, can we switch this around and ask yourself this question instead? How can you be you and make a change? And what I mean by that is, how can you be you? Who are you? Are you a singer? Are you a video creator? Are you working in a corporate? Where are you? What do you do? What is your strength? And how can that make a change? And you'll be surprised when you start thinking that way. A lot of things is possible. So for example, if you are an accountant, you hate working with kids, it's okay. Be an accountant. Offer maybe an NGO who can't hire an accountant and help them with accounting. If you are good in, let's say, marketing, there are actually a lot of mentors who reach out to us and help us in marketing so that we market the food better, then the family get an income. So it's really seeing what your strength is and offering your strength to people to make a change. And the most basic thing, if you think, I don't know what's your strength, okay lah, let me help you, just eat, okay? Eat, and you are making a direct change. That is also one of the things that we want to push for. We want to make making a change very easy for people. Birthday party, buy from Rania maybe. Then she get half of what you pay for. Another half comes to the business to help us sustain and pay salary. If you have a wedding, I tell you, wedding usually 5 digit. I tell you, I'm not kidding you, it will support about 4 families rental for the month with one wedding. So there's a lot of things that we can do as long as we put conscious thought into it. If you are in a corporate, how can your corporate offer something to make an impact? So today, you can forget everything that I say, but remember this, anywhere you go, how can you be you and make a change? No matter where you are in life, we can always make a change somewhere, wherever you are. So again, we can make a change. Just want to highlight it again. Life is really not just about us. There is more people out there than just us in this room. So that's all. That's all from me. Thank you very much. And I really hope that, thank you very much. Yeah.